Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Big up to all of my subscribers, everybody who follow the program and follow my live. And big up to those who haven't subscribed yet, but it's free, so you can go right ahead and subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let's get right into the tips for Saturday, September 20th, 2025. The first race, 5-year-old and up, optional claiming, 200,000 only. Nature bred 6-year-olds and up, non-runners of 2, and 5-year-old and up, maiden. A field of 10, they go 3.5 furlongs straight. These races very tricky, but I'm going to boil this race down to 3 horses. They're going to be the 1, Big Guy in the Sky, the 8, Queen's Anne, and the 9, Absolute Blue. Big Guy in the Sky, Dane Dawkins riding for Michael Spencer. Turned up last time out on the 30th of August, going 4 furlongs straight to make all the running. Winning by a neck from Sudden Flight and Wear Your Honor. Before that, showed some spark of life. The 26th of July, going 3.5 furlongs straight this distance, when finishing 7th by 4 3/4 lengths to Silver Fox, Nothing But Trouble, and Queen's Anne. Queen's Anne is present today. But Big Guy in the Sky, with that fitness shown on last and going the minimum trip, does have speed. Definitely in here with that shot to make it 2 in a row. The 8, Queen's Anne. Now, Queen's Anne potentially should be the best horse in the race. Ray and Lewis riding here for Stedman Curtis. Last time out though, 3 in an absolute clinker. This was the 16th of August. The grade above this, 350,000 over the 5 straight course. Second by 3/4 length at the quarter pole. Then faded to finish 10 by 10 lengths to Millennium Star, Little Groovy Thing, and Traditional Boy. But before that, at this level, going 3.5 furlongs straight, finished 3rd by a length and a quarter to Silver Fox and Nothing But Trouble. That same race, she was in front of Big Guy in the Sky. So a reproduction of that run here should see Queen's Anne pulling this off with as the horse coming down in class. And the 9, Absolute Blue, Emilia McLean claiming 3 kilos here for Ryan Darby. Now this horse is the danger horse, I think, in the race, because definitely coming out, dropping down in class from running against better horses. Last time out though was in June, 350,000 claimers, 5.5 furlongs, prominent early before fading to finish 11 by 12 lengths to Ahmad Ali. Before that, over the straight course for 350,000 in April, outsped by Tap It Good, who won there by 5 lengths. Buzz Assault was second, Absolute Blue was third, 8 lengths behind Buzz Assault. We recently saw Buzz Assault put in a very good run, much better company. Absolute Blue, when fit, does show some speed, so depending on which Absolute Blue turns up, because Absolute Blue hasn't been out since June. But if the right Absolute Blue turns up, getting this 3 kilo claim off of 126 pounds, with a minimal trip, showing speed plus stepping down in class, definitely has a good shot of spoiling the party. Those are the 3 that I think it comes down to. You want to squeeze an outsider into your exotics, I would probably fit in the 5, Lady Katgara, Shane Richardson riding for Rowan Maffey. Last time out, 9th by 7 lengths, 4 furlongs straight in that same race with Big Guy in the Sky. This Lady Katgara does show some speed in some of her races. Her last good run was back in July, going 4 furlongs straight, finishing 2nd by a length and a quarter to Answer Attack. Had Time Bomb behind there. Had a good run behind Queen's Anne back on the 28th of June, going 4 furlongs straight, beating only 4.5 lengths there, carrying 121 pounds. So, if the right Lady Katgara turns up, could run a pretty decent race. As I said, those are the horses I think it come down to. I'm leaning towards Queen's Anne as the horse they're going to have to beat. The second race, native bred 3-year-old and 4-year-old, non-runners of 4 and imported 3-year-old and up, non-runners of 3, small field of 6, they go 7.5 furlongs. I think this is a 2-horse race. It's going to be between the 2 Rocket Fire Seb and the 5 H2O. Okay, Rocket Fire Seb, Radish Roman riding here for Spencer Chung, comes in with the top weight 126 pounds. Last time out, 16th of August for 3-year-old and up, non-runners of 4, carrying 121 pounds at 7 furlongs. Made all the running quite easily, under no pressure whatsoever, and cantered in to win by 9 3/4 lengths in 125 and 4. That was a non-winner of 4 event, but wasn't the strongest feel. But was a very impressive performance by this Rocket Fire Seb, who cruised to a very easy lead and cantered in. Nice work coming to this race on the 14th of September, 6 furlongs in 114. On the 8th of September, out the shoot 5.5 furlongs in 1074. The first 5 was done in 101 and 1. So this Rocket Fire Seb does look like a nice colt, and even though up in the scales, definitely should fight this out. And his main danger is going to be the 5, H2O, 121 pounds. Shane Ellis riding here for Jason DaCosta. So coming down 1 pound since his last start, the 6th of August 2025, 3-year and up, down in a 2 race. Also canted in, won by 7 lengths. The difference with H2O's performance and Rocket Fire Seb, H2O had pressure on the headlines all the way onto the top of the lane. Went a little bit faster for the early part of the race, the first 4 furlongs. But then still finished good, 126 and 3, winning by 7 lengths, powering away from the field. He's down 1 pound since that run. So to weigh both horses, Rocket Fire Seb win was super impressive, but had no pressure on the headlines early, while H2O was pressed from the gates open, coming off a 3-month break, and still managed to power away. The class below Rocket Fire Seb, but nonetheless was a very impressive run by 7 lengths. He also is coming here working brilliantly, has a workout beating a nuclear jet at exercise, 6 furlongs in 114.2. Had a 5.5 workout on the 6th of September, 1073. First 5 in 101 and 4. Also had a 6 furlong workout on the 30th of August, 6 furlongs, 114.2. So definitely coming to run. Much better off of that run off of the 3-month break. Freshened for this once again. And I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it goes either way. For the people who play trifecta, I would put in the trifecta, I would throw in the 3 Perfect Affair. Tyrese Anderson claiming 3 kilos for Anthony Nunes. So coming in fairly light. Winner last time out for 3-year-old, non-winners of 2, going 5 furlongs straight. I think this horse might enjoy going 7 furlongs, coming from off the pace if saved for a run with the lightweight, and try to grab that 3rd spot. But as I said, this is a 2-horse race in my opinion. Rocket Fire Seb, impressive last time out. H2 also impressive. Rocket Fire Seb running a bit of the better class, but had no speed in there to contend with, while H2O had to deal with speed early before kicking off. So you have to wait that way. Handicaps go in favor of H2O. But as I said, I think it's a 2-horse race. The 3rd race, native bred 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 4, and imported 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3. A field of 6, they go 6 furlongs. Won this race down to 3. They're going to be the 1, She's Dallas Love, the 5, The General, and the 6, Firecracker. Okay, She's Dallas Love. O'Neill Mullins riding here for Ron Crichton. Last time out, 5 furlongs straight, 4th by 6 lengths to Come Home to Me when stepping up to this level. Before that was an easy winner by 3.5 lengths, beating Firecracker, Blood Moon, that was 5 furlongs round. Had the figure 8 on then, was removed last time out. They now have the figure 8 on once again. So expecting good run from this She's Dallas Love if she can repel the early pace run of Matusa and Smart Trick. Should have a good shot at fighting this out. The 5, The General, Aaron Sacri riding here for Gary Sobrati. Good run last time out at this distance, at this level, finishing 4th by 2 3/4 length. Probably could have fought out the finish if he had a clean start. Had to come from far off the pace after missing the break. So from a clean start here, with expected speed on the front end, it sets up for a nice run from this, The General, who is very fit right now. And the horse I think they're going to have to beat this time around is going to be Firecracker. Tyrese Anderson claiming 3 kilos here for Philip Fiani. Last time out, going 5.5 furlongs, beating 11 lengths by Mighty Gully, Miss Moneypenny, and Bowmore. Much better horses than these. That was for 3-year-old non-winners of 4, so that's a class above this level. Before that, at this level, going 6 furlongs, was in the pace chasing King Crown. Not Disgrace, beaten only 2 lengths by King Crown and Blue Sensation. 6 furlongs is right up the alley here of this Firecracker. Last win was coming at 5.5, beating Come Home to Me, who has since come back and won back-to-back races. In that race, Firecracker came off slow. So I think Firecracker in this race will definitely be pressing our stock in the pace and getting the 3 kilo claim coming in much lighter than the competition. And I'm leaning towards Firecracker. I think Firecracker, the distance and the pace scenario sets up perfect for Firecracker to get the first run on the General in the stretch. So I'm leaning towards Firecracker getting the job done. But as I said, those are the 3 I boil it down to. 1, She's Dallas Love, 5, The General, and the 6, Firecracker. I'm leaning towards Firecracker. If there was someone to spoil the party for the trifecta though, I'll have to use the speed horse Smart Trick, who represents the speed of the event, natural speed. They have removed the visors for this occasion and called for Dick Cardenas. He knows how to rate a horse on the front end. So if a upset slips into that trifecta, could be Smart Trick. But I'm leaning towards Firecracker. The fourth race, native bred 4-year-olds and up, numbers of 3, and imported 4-year-olds and up, numbers of 2, a field of 7, and they go 8 furlongs. I'm going to boil it down to 3. They're going to be the 1, Unruly Don, the 3, Wicked Cassie, and the 7, Shooting Star. All right, number 1, Unruly Don, Radish Roman riding here for Oral Hayden. 2 good runs last 2 starts. Last time out on the 7th of September, 7.5 furlongs, off the pace early, then prominent in the last quarter to be beaten 4 3/4 length into second by a fit Train of Thought who went up in class and ran big. Had Wicked Cassie 4 lengths behind in that race, and Unruly Don was slow at the start. So coming in here, although from the 1 draw, which is not the best draw, is in here with a good shot once again if coming out of those gates clean. The 3, Wicked Cassie, Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos here for Patrick Lynch. Throwing a poor run last time out, but that was over 5 furlongs straight against way out of class looking good by Firefly winning in 58-1. But before that, at 7.5 furlongs, way too early for her own good, finishing third by 8 3/4 lengths to Train of Thought, who won by 4 3/4 lengths. So it was 4 lengths behind Unruly Don. A more patient ride, stalking the pace here, going this longer trip, which last time at this distance on the 16th of August, finishing second by 3.5 lengths to Hail the Queen, who got a lone speed advantage in that event. We'll expect a better run here from Wicked Cassie. And the horse I like, and the horse I think they're going to have to beat, though, is going to be Shooting Star. Dane Dawkins riding here for Roy Matthews. Last time out, I'm going to say is a very unlucky horse. If you watch my horses to watch, this horse was hindered twice in that 7.5 furlong event on the 7th of September when finishing 5th by 13 lengths to Train of Thought. The first hinder was absolutely horrible. He lost a lot of ground with that hinder, and when he was getting back into it, was hindered once again by Wicked Cassie. So I lost a lot of lengths there. Would have finished a lot closer in that event. And before that, at 6 furlongs, was running on to finish 7 by 5 1/4 lengths to come home to me, who went up in class to win again. Unruly Don was in that event, finishing in front of Shooting Star. Shooting Star was blocked in that race as also. So coming back here so quick, getting an extra half a furlong to run, gets Dane Dawkins in the saddle now. Definitely know this horse is fit. Does have pace and drawn perfectly on the outside, so won't get bogged in early this time around before he hits that half mile. I'm carrying the Shooting Star as the horse that they're going to have to beat. A outsider to be wary of in this event, though, is going to be the 2, Chief Dissident, Ratajmir Weir, claiming 4 kilos here for Patrick Lynch. So this is Patrick Lynch's other entry in the race. I like the run that he did back in May, going 7 furlongs, when coming from far off the pace to finish 4th by 3 1/4 lengths to Provident. Provident is now in overnight allowance, so that's just a horse to keep an eye on. The 5th race, native bred 4-year-olds and up, numbers of 2, and imported 4-year-old and up maiden. A competitive field of 11, going 5 furlongs straight. I'm going to boil this down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Speed on Wheels, 3, Ballistic Missile, the 8, Dream to Reality, and the 10, Gelroy. Okay, Speed on Wheels. Shane Ellis riding here for Matthew Williams. Disappointing run last time out back in August over the straight course when beaten by Alkebulan and Gelroy. Before that, over the 4 furlong straight, finished second by a neck to Siempre Valiente, having Radam behind there. A reproduction of that run from the freshened up Speed on Wheels, who is active at the exercise, had a 4 furlong straight workout in 50-2, and even from the 1 draw over the straight course, a good run expected from this Speed on Wheels. The 3, Ballistic Missile, morning line says 15-1. Paul Francis riding here for Joseph Thomas. Very fit right now. 2 consecutive good races. Was 3rd on the 19th of July over the 5 straight course after leading, finishing behind Valley of Love and Noble Sovereign. Came back last time on the 9th of August over the straight course, made all the running to win by 1 1/4 length, beating Lucy on the Go and Racola. Racola recently won, although stepping up in class here. Does have natural speed. Paul Francis in the saddle now, replacing Shane Ellis, and even at 15-1, stepping up in class. Going to give this Ballistic Missile a shot at running a good race. Once again, the 8, Dream to Reality. Dane Dawkins riding here for Sakleen Roman. Last time out back on the 9th of August, 5 furlong straight, third by 5 3/4 length in that same race with Alkebulan and Gelroy. They have now taken off the blinkers and put on the visors, so they want to give this horse a little peephole to peep through. Worked well coming into this race though. On the 13th of September, 5 furlong straight out the gate, 102, the first 4 and 49. Dane Darkin retains the ride. So this dream to reality, drawn nicely on the outside. Looks like the horse I think that they might have to beat. And the 10, Gelroy. Jaheim Anderson claiming 4 kilos for Cashbird Kewalsing. Running good races recently. Last time out going 5.5 furlongs. Was second at the furlong pole by 7 lengths to out of class looking Adira. Finished fourth by 9 lengths. So was chasing a horse who looked way out of class there. Before that, over the straight course, made the running before being outkicked by Alkebulan. Had Dream to Reality behind there. Claiming 4 kilos off 121 pounds. Definitely coming to the race fit. Money line says 6-1. Also a horse of consideration of running a good race. And a outsider to note and be very careful of is going to be the 6 Ruby's Light. Ratajmere, we are claiming 4 kilos for Gary Griffiths. This horse hasn't shown anything in the last 3 starts since coming to this level. Was a winner back in April at 7 furlongs by 5 lengths, beating Successful Man and Valley of Love. Those horses have run well in the class above this. His last run over the straight was back in March when finishing 4th by 6 lengths to Bomb Knight, Alkebulan, Roman Princess. So this Ruby's Light is very capable, does have early pace, is active at the exercise, and Morning Line says 21. So that's my outsider in the race to watch. The 6th race, native bred 5-year-old and up, non of 3, and imported 5-year-old and up, non of 2. A field of 11, they go 5.5 furlongs. This is one of those races that if you can go deep, go deep. I'm going to boil it down to 4. They're going to be the 3, Toots, the 7, Leading Lad, the 9, Workout Crew, and the 11, Jack Daniel. Okay, Toots. Aaron's actually riding here for Adin Williams. Not a bad run last time out over the straight course. Made the lead, but then faded to finish 3rd by 7 lengths to out of class looking Bella Bella at 5-year-old and up, none of 3 level. Bella Bella won by 6 lengths. Always Right finished second. Always Right has come back to run second again. So that's saying good for the chances here of this Toots. Does have some early pace. Last time at 5.5 furlongs, finished second by 2.5 lengths to Moneybox. Had Princess Ifya behind. So coming to this race very fit. Does have some pace. Toots definitely in here with a shot. The 7, Leading Lad. O'Neill Scott riding here for Michael Spencer. O'Neill Scott recently had 2 wins, so getting back some form. Leading Lad came off of a very long break to running 5-year-old and up, none of 2, going 6.5 furlongs. Start the pace before powering through in the stretch to win by 2 lengths easily over Security Code and Mo Aviator. Steps up in class here, but with that run behind this Leading Lad, and should be much fitter since that run. I'm going to give Leading Lad a shot in this event. The horse I like in the event though is the 9, Workout Crew. O'Neill Mullins riding for O'Neill Markland. I would say unlucky last time out. Didn't have the best start. Then came wide around the half-mile turn. Came to the stretch wide. And was only beaten 3/4 length going 7 furlongs to Charming Sound. Very fit Charming Sound and the very fit Always Right. Comes back here. Cutting distance. Last time at this distance was 6 by 9 lengths to Moneybox and Toots. But with that recent run showing his fitness, definitely giving this Workout Crew a good shot. If the pace collapse early, I think Workout Crew is the horse that they might have to beat. The 11, Jack Daniel. Now Jack Daniel, Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos here for Patrick Lynch. So this is, I think, the second horse on the card that I think is a dangerous horse for Patrick Lynch. Last time out, prominent all the way to the top of the lane before finishing 5th by 14 lengths to Charming Sound, Always Right, and Workout Crew. So it's pressing the pace there, going 7 furlongs. So now cuts back to a distance more suitable for this Jack Daniels running style. Does show pace and 5.5 furlongs. Haven't seen him over it recently. His last good run was over the straight back in March when finishing second to Ridgeliner. Ridgeliner recently beat up Million Claimers. So that's saying good for the chance of Jack Daniels if he can reproduce a run like that in this event, getting that 3 kilo claim. They've taken off the blinkers for this run, so he's back to his old running style, has been busy at the exercise, and if he gets a good break and doesn't get caught into that half-mile turn wide, Good run expected from Jack Daniel. And outsider to watch. As I said, this is a very, very tricky race. But if I was going to throw an outsider in it, it would be the 6 Money Bus, Jamar Jackson riding for Ricardo Brown. Winner last time out on the 30th of August, the class below this. Stalking the pace, then running through to win easily by 2 lengths from Storm Boy and Planner. Not much there, but just the fact that he won easily and had a good run before that, finishing second by 5 lengths to Tequila Flight, is telling me that this Money Bus is very fit right now, active at the exercise. And at 25 to 1 morning line is an outsider to keep your eye on. The 7th race, nature bred 3-year-old maiden, fillies. Field of 14, going 5.5 furlongs. Going to boil this down to 4. They're going to be the 3, Miss Brayton. The 9, Life is Light. The 11, Fantastic Hedge. And the 13, You're My Sweetie. Okay, Miss Brayton. Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos here for Ricardo Brown. Last time out, 6.5 furlongs. Third by 6.25 lengths to Dreamer's Corner. Kusmi chased Dreamer's Corner. Then most of the way, Dreamer's Corner definitely looked out of class in that event and paid the price in the stretch when, with the big weight in her back, Kusmi ran on to pass her for the second spot. But now, cutting distance back to 5.5. Her last run over 5.5 was second by half a length to Altogether, who has gone up in class and run well. Dreamer's Corner was behind her there. And I think this is the perfect race for Miss Brayton to finally get her head in front. The blinkers are off, and I don't think she's going to try to rush that pace too hard too early. She looks like the horse to beat, in my opinion. The 9, Life is Light. Ratajmir Weir, clearing 4 kilos for Gary Griffiths. This is the third horse, I think, that looks like a live ride for Ratajmir Weir. The second horse for Gary Griffiths. Life is Light, bet down to 5 to 1 last time out, going 5.5 furlongs. Prominent early, faded to finish 5th by 9 lengths to D-Storm and Sparkling Fire. So poor run there after coming out of a pretty good run at 6 furlongs, finishing third by 4.5 lengths to Candy Girl. But that was in a conditioned maiden race. But is coming in here fairly fit and getting that 4 kilo claim from a dangerous stable. I'm going to give this Life is Light a shot at running a very good race. The 11, Fantastic Hedge. Tyree Sanderson claiming 3 kilos for Alfred Brown. Only 2 starts to date on debut back in July. Well beaten 9 by 20 lengths to Alchemy of Soul. That horse has run in the classics and also came back to be narrowly beaten in a very good race. Last time out, this Fantastic Hedge going 4 furlongs straight. Bet down to 5 to 2. Prominent early before fading to finish 6 by 6.5 lengths to Platinum Princess. So is getting fitter. The blinkers are off, the visor's on. Good workout, 17th of August, 5 furlongs straight in 1:01.4, first 4 and 47.2, and cantering coming to this race. So does flash speed at the exercise track and facing fillies only now. Definitely giving this Fantastic Hedge a good shot at putting in a big performance. And the 13, You're My Sweetie. Dane Dawkins riding here for Gary Sobrati. Unlucky last time out when running at 6 furlongs on the 30th of August. That was a conditioned race, but was blocked out and had to come on late, beaten second by 4 lengths to Candy Girl. Had Life is Light behind in that race, but that hindrance at the 5 furlong marker definitely cost You're My Sweetie some running. So back here with a clean trip and not too far off the pace, even coming in with 121 pounds, definitely is in here with a good shot of pulling this off. I'm still kind of leaning towards Miss Brayton. I think she has faced much better horses, and the minimal 5.5 furlong trip I think she will like. I'm giving the edge to Miss Brayton. If you want to throw an outsider in to be careful of, it's going to be the 14, Jody's Fun. Radish Roman riding here for Well Suitor. Nothing in the last 2 starts. Last time out 6 by 23 lengths to Don Quessy. Don Quessy has stepped up in class and won. So throw that race out with Jody's Fun, had no chance there. Before that, at 6.5 furlongs, 5th by 14 lengths to Dreamer's Corner, Kusmi and Miss Brayton. Was near the back of the field, was passing horses up the lane, although beaten 14 lengths, but had a good run at a mile, finishing second by 2 lengths to Cutout. Had Miss Brayton behind there. So outsider to watch, even with 123 pounds, is going to be Jody's Fun. The 8th race, 3-year-old and up, open allowance, small field of 5. 5.5 furlongs, not going to waste much time here. It's going to take a very, very brave performance to deny Ride All Day. Ian Spence riding here for Philip Vianney, coming in at 126 pounds. This horse looking for his 5th consecutive win, has only been defeated once from 6 starts. Last time out in the Poor Little Rich Girl at this level, 7.5 furlongs. Toyed with opposition before cruising away to win by 2 3/4 lengths from Sheer Delight and Rhythm Buzz. Before that, in the Big Man in Town in Overnight Allowance Company, start the pace at a mile before powering through at the top of the lane to come in an easy winner by 7 lengths over Gurvana, who went on to win a Grade 1 race, even though getting 20 pounds. So at this level, even from 126 pounds, going 5.5 furlongs, which is not going to be any kind of problem to this ride all day, has a win at this distance back in June, winning by 7 lengths, beating mediocre opposition but cantered in. Working brilliant to come into this race, out to shoot 5.5 furlongs at 106.4, the first 5 in 59.4. It's going to take a brave customer to deny ride all day. To complete the exacta, I'd go for the other top-rated horse in the event, which is going to be the 4 California Crown, coming in at 125 pounds. Shane Ellis has the ride here for Jason DaCosta. 5th by 7.25 lengths last time out to Pack Plays and Mojito. Before that was 5th by 14 lengths to Fun Can Done. Naturally, a very speedy horse. 5.5 furlongs, not a problem. Had a good run at 5.5 furlongs, 8th of March, when finishing 2nd by 4 lengths to Digital One, having Bootylicious behind there. So I'm expecting to flash that speed again. But even from the head of the scales, expecting a good run from California Crown. Expecting this one to complete the exacta. The 9th race, native bred 3-year-old, non-winners of 2, and imported 3-year-old and up, maiden. A field of 11, they go 6.5 furlongs. Very competitive race, going to boil it down to 4. They're going to be the 2, Sashan, the 3, Big Buzz, the 8, Prince Roy, and the 9, Easy Money. Okay, Sashan, Radish Roman riding here for Ron Crichton. So I think this is Ron Crichton's second horse on the card with a shot. Only 3 starts to date. Good run on debut. Finished 2nd by 2.5 lengths to Rocket Fire Seb on debut. Came back after that at 9-5 over the straight course. And disappointing run. Was hindered at the start. Didn't perform at all. Finished 7 by 7.5 lengths. Came back at 5.5 furlongs. Showed no speed. And finished 4th by 7 lengths to Strong Mind. They have now added the blinkers. Last time at the exercise track was the 30th of August out the gate. Good work in 5 straight in a minute and 1/5 first 4 and 46 and 3. So I don't know what has gone wrong with Sashan since that workout, but going to give this Sashan another shot at setting the record straight. The 3, Big Buzz, Demar Williams riding here for Ray Phillips. Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos. Now this is the horse I like in the event, Big Buzz. Out of Buzz Nightmare by Lady Tarkari out of Miracle Man. So this horse has a nice breeding for middle sprint to middle distance. Last time out in the Winston Griffiths Classic, 9.5 furlongs. Good performance. Chased the speed the entire way, still only beaten 2 3/4 lengths at the finish. Was a good run in the Derby, finished 5th by 9 lengths after pressing the pace. Last sprinting run, 5 furlongs straight. Start the pace before being beaten 4th by 2.5 lengths by Miss Marbella, Brampton Boy, and Rocket Fire Seb. So Big Buzz now gets a cut back in distance where I think he's going to really excel. Working out coming to this race. Had a workout with Mrs. Lyndhurst, 3 furlongs and 36.2. Mrs. Lyndhurst is running, I think, at the overnight level, and she does have speed, so that's a nice sharpen up work for this Big Buzz. Now cut back in distance. That's the horse I like in the event. The 8, Prince Roy. Now Prince Roy, very useful colt, does have ability. Anthony Allen claimed 2 kilos here for Jason DaCosta. Only have 1 good run since changing stables from Fitzroy Gillespie, and that was at this distance. 3-year-old non up to 6.5 furlongs. 2nd by a length and a quarter to Enthusiasm. Had Khaleesi behind. Prince Roy didn't have the best start there, but still ran well. Then they stretched him back out to 9.5, which I knew was a big mistake. I didn't even give him a snowball's chance in hell there, going 9.5 furlongs. He definitely runs like a horse that wants to sprint. So coming back to 6.5 furlongs from a clean break. They've changed the equipment on this horse now, so they've taken off the visors, taken off the tongue tie, and they've added the figure 8. So Jason DaCosta making some changes there. But whatever happens from a clean break, I think Prince Roy will definitely put in a good performance at this reduced trip. And the 9, Easy Money. The card in this here for Anthony Nunes. Last time out 5.5 furlongs at 9 to 5. Finished third by 7 lengths. Ran up into Strong Mind and a very speedy T-Swizzle. Couldn't cope with the speed there. Will get a more relaxed pace to stalk. And if the 6.5 furlongs is not too long for this Easy Money, even with 123 pounds, is expected to put in a pretty good run. But as I said, for me, the reduction in distance and running so well in the classics, I'm leaning towards this Big Buzz. I'm liking Big Buzz to get the job done. The 10th and final, the feature event, the Blumenthal Trophy. 3-year and up, overnight allowance, big field of 15, 6.5 furlongs. Let's run through the field. The 1 is Magnificent Force. Dane Dawkins riding for Philip Fiani. Capable when focused. Last win was at 5.5 furlongs in 3-year and up, numbers of 3, beating Rico, and Unruly Mo. So useful horses there. Hasn't really put in a big punch in the last 4 starts, although favoured. Last time out was 5th by 8.5 lengths to Supremacy at 8 furlongs. So stepping up basically to open overnight allowance. But they have removed the Lasix now, so that's a question sign. So not really fancying this Magnificent Force, and is also poorly drawn from the 1 draw. The 2 Inspire Force, 126 pounds. Ian Spence, riding here for Philip Fiani, represents one of the horses with top ratings in the event, but disappointing in the last 2 starts. Last time out at this level, 5.5 furlongs. Gave it away at the starts and never recovered. Finished 10 by 24 lengths. Same thing the race before, 7.5 furlongs. Didn't recover after a slow start, finishing 10th by 35 lengths. Had 3 consecutive very good races though before that, at 9 furlongs and 25 yards, second by 2 lengths to Run Julie Run. That was coming from more than 20 lengths off the pace. Before that, at this distance, 6.5 furlongs, a big second by a length and a half to Pack Plays. Had Blue Vinyl 2 lengths behind here after coming out of the gate slow and leaving the half mile 12 lengths behind. And before that, at 7 furlongs, second by 4.25 lengths to Commandant. Had Run Julie Run behind there after coming out of the gate slow, leaving the half mile 16 lengths 6th. So from a clean break here and focused, even with 126 pounds, Inspire Force definitely is in here with a good shot once coming out of those gates clean. The 3, Huntsman Anthony Allen claiming 2 kilos for Gary Griffiths. Running useful races, but last time out was at overnight allowance open company. 5.5 furlongs, 7 by 7.5 lengths to Fearless Force and Bootylicious. 6.5 furlongs is okay for Huntsman, but against a field of this nature, I think I'll have to bypass. The 4, Immeasurable Joy. Useful filly. Nicardo Carr will claim 4 kilos for Anthony Nunes, so coming in fairly light. Last win was at overnight allowance, non-winner of an overnight allowance race at 7 furlongs, winning by half a length from Antarctica and Prince Aman. Would prefer another furlong and a half, this Immeasurable Joy, 30-1 morning line, but at the lightweight could squeeze into the exotics. The 5, Florindia, Radish Roman riding for Arnold Rambali Jr. This imported filly, disappointed last time out, but wasn't so surprised to me. I didn't think the mile was going to suit her, and she chased the pace and faded to finish 11 by 20 lengths with 121 pounds after selling the even money favourite. Before that, at 5 round, though, was second by 2.5 lengths to Supernatural Power, having sensational move behind. And before that was a winner at 6 furlongs, beating Zulu Warrior, who's present today. The tongue tie is now off this Florindia, and at 6.5 furlongs, which I think possibly could be her sweet spot. Good work coming to this 5 furlongs run in a minute 1 and 3. Good run expecting from Florindia. She does have a good shot at fighting it out. The 6, Norblar, Shane Richardson, riding here for Greshford Smith. This horse does have some backclass, but not the horse of last year. Was a winner at overnight allowance, 5 furlongs straight, but next 3 starts was beaten. His starts this season in July the 13th, 5 furlongs straight. Prominent early before finishing 6 by 7.5 lengths to Money Market. Last time out at 7.5 furlongs, 14 by 19.5 lengths to Gurvano. Working out pretty okay at exercise, but still a tall order to get past the principals. The 7, Zulu Warrior, Tyrese Anderson claiming 3 kilos for Adrian Prince, has gone on from strength to strength. 2 wins out of the last 4 starts. Last win was back in August at 7 furlongs, making all the running to win by 4 3/4 lengths from Riches to Rags. Stepped up to this level at 5.5 furlongs, pressed the pace before being outkicked and finished 5th by 4.5 lengths to Fearless Force and Bootylicious. Another one is there. So depending on the pace factor here, if she is allowed to sit close to a pace that I think should be a little more tame, this Zulu Warrior definitely could make it in the frame. The 8 King's Crown, Richard Shakes, claiming 3 kilos here for Stephen Todd. Winner last time out against Blue Sensation and Firecracker at 6 furlongs. Stepping up here though, already beaten by Florindia and Zulu Warrior, so King's Crown has it all to do in a race of this nature. The 9 Linguist now, Dick Cardenas for Anthony Nunes, 117 pounds. The Oaks Heroine dominated the Oaks to win by a length and a half, although it was clear that she does not necessarily get that trip. She did use her class to win it. Before that, at 6 furlong in her warm-up run, was second by 8 lengths to Supernatural Power, having Riches to Rags behind there, and she was second in the Guineas to Burning Hedge. So, first time running against Overnight Company, but doing so, coming in here extremely fit, working well, and being a local filly, I'm rooting for her to get the job done here. Now cut back in distance, definitely giving Linguist a maximum shot of pulling this off. The 10 Strike Hard, Shane Ellis riding for Matthew Williams, comes in 126 pounds. This horse last start was December of 2022 in the Grade 3 Harlan Holiday Stakes, finishing 6th to Grade 1 horse Skippy Long Stockings. So far superior company. This horse was also 7th in the Florida Derby 2022 behind White Tabario. White Tabario went on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic and the Pegasus World Cup. So definitely this Strike Hard has faced way better competition, but the question sign remains, how fit is this Strike Hard? He has workouts coming to this race. He has a 36 for 3 and he has a 51 for 4. If Strike Hard turns up 70% to his best ability, even after a 3-year break, possibly be a walk in the park. But that's a big question sign. How fit is Strike Hard? The 11, Provident, Eric Horton claiming 4 kilos for Jason Acosta. Also a horse that has gotten fitter, but since coming to this level has been beaten. And I think 6.5 might be a tad short for this Provident. He prefers maybe a mile. He's working well though, but I think easier opportunities might come up in the near future. The 12, Come Home to Me, Shaheem Garden claiming 4 kilos for Jason DaCosta. Back-to-back winner and last 2 starts, looking for a hat-trick of wins. Stepping up in class now. Last time out was 5 furlongs straight, winning in 58.4, beating Playfair before that, a winner at 6 furlongs by a nose over A Breath of Fresh Air. So getting fitter with each run, regaining her old-time classic form. And I'm expecting a good run without actually winning. The 13, Perfect Brew, one of the back class horses of the event. Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos here for Richard Azan. This horse now, very fit right now. I think 6.5 furlongs is the ideal trip for this Perfect Brew. Last time at this trip was 3rd by 5 lengths to Caymanas, the head cornerstone. So not the best horses there, but was at this level. And a good run once again is expected for Perfect Brew to squeeze himself into the exotics. The 14, Money Monster, Jaheim Anderson claiming 4 kilos for Adrian Prince. This horse has run second to 2 very good horses. He has run second to Barnaby and run second to Pack Plays, but beaten by wide margins. So my opinion of those races is that other horses did the dirty work, and then he capitalized by passing the tired horses in the stretch to finish second. In a race of this nature, even coming in this light, can't fancy Money Monster here. Hasn't been showing any form in the last 3 starts. And the 15, Lion Charmer, Ramon Napier came in 2 kilos here for Patrick Lynch. Running some useful races since coming to this level, but still has it all to do in a race of this nature. I'll boil this race down to 4. They're going to be the 2, Inspire Force, the 5, Florindia, the 9, Linguist, and the 10, Strike Hard. I'm really leaning towards Linguist, being the fact that he's the local horse. She is the local horse. I'd really love her to win, but that's just sentiments, and you can't put sentiments in horse racing. My grandfather always said that that's the certainest way to become a papa in horse racing is sentiments. So, but that's the sentimental value. I'd like her to win because she's local. Florindia, good run against Supernatural Power. The distance looked right. She looked dangerous. Inspire Force from a clean break could definitely dominate this race. And Strike Hard, depending which Strike Hard turns up, could absolutely demolish this field. So it's extremely competitive. I'd carry all 4 of these on my pick 6 or whatever I'm buying, but I'm definitely rooting for Linguist as the local horse. My outsider to throw into this is going to be the 1, Magnificent Force. Would have made the top 4, but it's poorly drawn at 1 and they have removed the Lasix. So I don't know if that's a test. They're just testing it out. But that's my outsider to watch in the event. Okay, guys, I hope we have some luck. I appreciate all your comments, even the criticism. Don't mind that. I'm not a perfect person. I can't tip perfect every time. And most time when I see a lot of horses in a race, I like to point out the outsider. So I changed it up this time around. I tip who I like first, and then after that, I show who I think is an outsider. So I hope it doesn't confuse anyone. Appreciate the support. Remember to like, share, comment. And as always, stay safe.